We just saw one of the slowest months of March in 30 years. And in this video, we're gonna break down the market stats for Toronto real estate in 3 minutes or less to give you the snapshot of everything important that happened in the month of March. I'm Ouzas, I'm a realtor here in the city of Toronto. If you ever wanted to book in a call to discuss your plans for Toronto real estate, scan the QR code or click on that first link in the description down below. Key takeaways for March 2025, let's go, 3 minutes or less. Okay, we are exactly 3 years from the peak of March for Toronto real estate. Now, if you're looking at the greater Toronto area, that peak was in February 2022. For Toronto proper, that peak was actually March and April. They were very marginally different between the two, but those were the peaks of months for Toronto real estate in March. This was still one of the slowest months of March we've seen on record, and we'll get to that in a second. That being said, highest prices for a month of March that we have seen since March 2022, which was that peak. So that's a very important note to know moving forward. The Bank of Canada overnight rate went down another 0.25% in March, and with all the talks going on economically, we may see that rate come down again here in the month of April. And speaking of economically, those tariff talks continue to keep going, and we did see those announcements April 2nd. Fixed rates are a bit on a roller coaster, still bouncing around, but I am hearing some pretty great rates, some of the lowest rates we have seen in the last few years for sure. If we take a look at condos, they made up 45% of sales. So those that are saying that condos aren't selling, well, there are a pretty decent amount of condos selling, even though there's not a ton of sales overall. Condos still making up almost half of all transactions for Toronto real estate. Speaking of those transactions, March 2021 was actually the highest transactions ever, 5,338. March 2025, almost a third of that. So 1,887 sales in March 2025. For Toronto, that is again the lowest in about 30 years. If you're a seller, price, presentation, and marketing, absolute non-negotiables right now. You need your property to stand out really well. You need your property to show really well and be marketed properly. And when we talk about pricing, having that strategy locked in, super important to sell in today's market. If you are a buyer, it is important to note that the best properties, the properties that most buyers are lining up for, are still getting offer dates. Now, that being said, I have seen some offer dates as of late go through the offer process and not sell on offer nights. So if you are a buyer getting out there, having your ducks in a row, having your checklist ready, will definitely set you up for success here as we move forward into the official spring market. Toronto months of inventory for the detached market, it is at 3.76, so trending more towards a seller's market, which is down from months of inventory at 4.24 from February. Semis at that 2 months of inventory, still a very highly competitive market. Remember, 2 months is the number that we start to see offer dates, and semis are certainly in that price point for offer dates in the city of Toronto. Rows and towns, that's actually up in months of inventory from February. Saw a lot more come to market here and not as many selling. And condos basically flat from where they were in February and in March. That's your market update snapshot. Hit that like and subscribe button. The full market stats with all the details of everything we just broke down coming up in my next video. Stay tuned for that one. I'm Ouzas. Thanks for watching.